So, what if I told you that the secret to absolutely nailing any negotiation isn't about being the loudest or the toughest person in the room? Today, we're diving into a single, super powerful principle that could completely change how you approach, well, pretty much every deal you ever make.
It all really boils down to this one question. I want you to think back for a second. Your first real negotiation. Maybe it was for a car, or maybe it was your first salary negotiation. What's the one thing you wish somebody had told you? Well, the source material we're looking at today has a surprisingly simple, kind of game-changing answer to that exact question.
All right, so to get to that answer, we first have to really understand the problem. A negotiation, a lot of the time, can feel like you're trying to find your way through a maze. You walk in, you think you see a clear path to the finish line, but almost right away, you hit with all these unexpected twists and turns and dead ends.
And that right there, that's the heart of the issue. Your opponent brings up some random, irrelevant detail, or they make a totally surprising demand, or maybe they even throw a little personal jab your way. And what's our first instinct? It's to react, right? To defend ourselves on that new front. But every single time we do that, we're getting pulled further and further away from what we actually came there to get.
This leads us straight into what our source calls the distraction trap. And look, to avoid any trap, you first have to be able to see it. You have to be able to identify all that noise that's specifically designed to throw you off your game.
And here we can see the two types of negotiators side by side. Over on one side, you've got the reactive negotiator. This person is caught in the trap. They're fighting every little battle, getting dragged into side arguments, and getting emotional. But then on the other side, you have the focused negotiator. This person stays sharp. They see those distractions for what they are, just noise, and they stick relentlessly to their main goal.
So let's get specific. What exactly is this noise? The source points to three main culprits. First, you've got side topics. These are just irrelevant issues meant to eat up your time and energy. Second, personal attacks. Little comments designed to get you angry or defensive. And third, and this is the one we all forget about, your own ego. That little voice in your head that says you have to win every single point or you'll look weak. That's noise too.
Okay, so how do we fight back against all this? Well, the solution is a really simple but incredibly powerful idea. It's called the laser focus principle. And according to our source, this is the one core concept that separates the amateurs from the true pros.
Just think about how powerful that statement is. It's not just more effective in certain situations, it's more effective every single time. This isn't just some tactic you pull out of your hat, it's a fundamental rule. The discipline to just ignore the noise and stay locked in on your real goal, that is your single greatest weapon.
So how do you actually do this? It really breaks down into a simple three-step process. First step, define. Before you even walk into that room, you need to have absolute clarity on your one main objective. What's the number one thing you need? Second, identify. As the negotiation happens, you have to actively listen for that noise, the attacks, the little diversions. And third, and this is the hardest part, filter. You have to make a conscious choice to ignore it, to let it go, and just gently but firmly bring the conversation back to what actually matters. When you start applying this principle, it leads to this fundamental shift in how you think. You actually start to redefine what winning a negotiation even means. It stops being about dominating the conversation, and it starts being about something much, much more strategic.
This right here is the ultimate takeaway. Your opponent might win an argument about some minor clause, or maybe they get you to concede a point that doesn't really affect your bottom line. You know what? Let them. By staying focused, you're saving all your energy and your influence for the one argument that truly matters, the one that gets you to your main objective.
It all comes down to this. One main objective. Before you negotiate, you should be able to write your primary goal down in a single, clear sentence. That's it. This is your North Star. Any conversation, any argument, any little concession that doesn't serve this one objective, it's just noise. It's really that simple and that powerful.
So here's a little challenge for you. In your very next negotiation, whatever it is, I want you to try this. Deliberately let one small, irrelevant point go. When the conversation starts to veer off track, gently steer it back. I want you to consciously filter out the noise and stick only to what truly counts. Just try it and see what happens. This whole principle is so powerful because it puts you in control, not of the other person, but of your own focus, your own energy. It's a huge shift from being reactive to being truly strategic. So, now that you've heard the case for laser focus, what do you think about it?